It's gonna fucking happen. There's the video. Give it a like. That was really fucking funny. I love it. Yeah, there we go. Society's gonna be wild soon. Yeah, I know, man. And none of these people bat an eye in industrial food processor, but the RoboCorp certainly as hell replaced a lot of prep cooks. Yeah, of course, right? So, be perfect, never make mistakes in life, or you won't be able to survive. Fuck right off. Well, here's the thing: is that everybody like, here's what my viewpoint on it is that yes, obviously it sucks that the world is the way that it is. It's obviously bad, but you're not going to change the world by writing a well-reasoned post on Twitch chat. It's not really going to matter. Nothing's going to change. People aren't going to shit about. They're not going to care about this at all. It starts with parents. Yeah, of course, right? And my thing is, after profits surge, after they fired all the workers, how do they continue to cut costs? They make better robots that are more efficient. Like, what do you mean? That's obviously what they have. Do you have empathy? I do have empathy, and the reason why I have empathy is that I see a lot of people think that empathy is compliance. Empathy is not compliance. In my opinion, I think that these people, their problem is not the job. The problem is the money. So they all hate working at Dunkin' Donuts, probably. So they're fighting so hard to keep their jobs at Dunkin' Donuts that they hate. They're not fighting for this because they love Dunkin' Donuts. They're fighting for it because they need money. So when you're solving a symptom of a disease rather than the disease itself, then all you're doing is prolonging something and you're hurting that person in the long run. When you're trying to keep these jobs on life support by withholding AI innovation and withholding types of automation, all you're doing is hurting everyone. So when I think about empathy and I think about like what's best for a person, sometimes what people think is best for them isn't what's best for them, and vice versa. Look at the facts. These people are not good at anything they do. No, they're not. They're not. Like, you're not going to be able to train this person to be a robotics engineer. It's not going to happen. You're not wrong, but what's the solution to ensuring mass unemployment in the long run? Well, it's simple. You have to do two things. You either kill all of the poor people or you do universal basic income. So you have to do one or the other. And so I don't know which one's going to happen, but those are pretty much the two basic options. And then there's like a third, there's like a slavery option, which is the third one. We could see that happen, but I think it's probably going to be one or the other.
It's about time.
Universal income and earn more on top of that. Yeah, who's paying for universal basic income? Because it sure as hell won't be rich people. Well, it has to be rich people. And if it doesn't, then they're going to have to kill all the poor people. That's what's, or pay half the poor people to kill half of the poor people, right? That's it. And so you start out college, you have an excellent opportunity to be a great addition to society, but wait, there aren't any jobs for you to work through to get through college, so you end up dropping out. This is bad, yeah. Yeah, I mean, sure, it could be bad. Yeah, definitely. And why wouldn't they just pay poor to kill other people? Well, that's probably what they would do, right? And I mean, you could see why that would make sense, definitely. And yeah, and sir, we currently ship the poor to jails and prisons. Well, I mean, that's people that commit crime. Poor people aren't criminals. Like, let's be honest, right? That's not the way it works. But anyway, this kind of stuff is going to keep getting worse, and it doesn't matter how many anarchists that shave half of their head complain about it. It's not going to make a difference. Nobody cares. The companies don't care. The employees don't even want to work there. They're just trying to protect their living. That's all. I'll read a few more, then we'll move on. And do you know sometimes the rich get murked? French Revolution, Russian Revolution, Mao? I think in a lot of revolutions, it's generally one group of rich people that's usurping another group of rich people. And it's just portrayed as a, like a workers' uprising. That's usually what actually happens, but this history is told differently to give people a sense of power, right? And so, yeah. So true, rich people put poor against poor. Yeah, and by the way, it'll work every single time. There's never going to be a time where poor people begin to have some awareness of class solidarity and they actually vote for their best interest and change society. It will never happen because a dog can never read. The average intelligence of a person is too low to not be at risk of being taken advantage of. It will never happen. People are too stupid. And French Revolution was rich versus poor. For sure, man. Well, anyway, you should probably read more about that. Do you think a real Hunger Games is going to happen in 50 years? Maybe, yeah. What about the 1920s and FDR? Well, I think if you look at the income disparity back then, and things like any sort of like indexing and like how high taxes were on rich people, they were a lot higher than they are now. This is why we need to increase the standard of schools. You can't. Schools don't solve the problem. So basically, here's what the issue is, and this is my opinion, right? But I think it's inevitable. That's not a very good. Okay, so this is just any sort of standard IQ distribution. This is a bell curve, right? And so if this is an IQ of 100, right? Let's just say it's right in the middle. I think that what's going to happen is that 80% of jobs that are for people that are of, let's say, an IQ of 90 or lower, 80% of these are going to be replaced with automation. And so you can, and again, people can get smarter, but they can't get that much smarter. And so as time goes on, this bar is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's going to be at the point, at some point, where the people that are able to get jobs are a very small minority of people. Streamers are going to get replaced. Well, a lot of people are going to get replaced. You know, the average IQ has increased over time. It's not going to increase at a ratio that's faster than this progress. If you want to make that argument, that's totally fine. But I think you should acknowledge the fact that it's not going to increase this fast. So, it's not keeping up with innovation? No, it's not. Won't streamers be some of the last to get replaced? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But, like, my point is that this is the truth. This is really this is the dark reality, in my opinion. And I think that a lot of people don't want to look at it like this because they view it as, like, kind of... I think the idea that people are kind of hard-capped with intelligence or hard-capped with any form of their... like their existence, I think it's a very politically incorrect opinion to have, but I think that it's also very true. I think it's incredibly true, and it's an unfortunate reality that I think a lot of people refuse to acknowledge. Why do we need humans at all? I don't know. If it doesn't fit their worldview, even if it's true. The Third World War will solve the population problem. Yeah, I thought COVID was going to be that, but I guess not. Does this end up with eugenics? It's a soft form of reproductive eugenics. Yes, that's correct. And but that's already happening, right? So like when you have rich people that can afford to have kids and poor people that can't, that's it's a very soft form of eugenics. So yeah, sure. And then also you're going to have like gene therapy and like gene selection as well with like having kids. Poor people having more children, though? No, you're right. But, like, I'm saying the act of not having kids because you don't have money is a form of eugenics, right? It's a very soft form of it. It's like it's a manifestation of it. Invidious argument? Yeah. There's a movie about that? Oh, there's plenty of movies about this. So, yeah, how much hate will this generate on Twitter? Well, the funny thing is that if people on Twitter are mad at me for saying this, I actually probably agree with almost all of their solutions to things. But I think that they can't really realize that. They might not understand that, but I actually do. I do agree with what they... now, I think they might be stupid with some things, but yeah, I mean, I support the universal basic. I think I think there are so many things like this that are inevitable. It's so sad to think if people understood basic consumer laws, the rights, and know how to exercise those rights, their life would be so much better. Yeah, probably not going to happen. Again, it's just the average people are stupid. You don't need a high IQ if you have a natural instinct of making money. I know people who are dumb, but they still know how to make money. So there are different brands of intelligence, and it's like, it's like, let's say like some people have like a certain type of intelligence versus another. There's like a few of them, right? There's like physical intelligence, there's like emotional intelligence, musical intelligence, intellectual intelligence, and there's a few other vectors that you can look at it as well. But ultimately, there are some people that spawn with less talent points than others. That's it. And so, like, even if you are, it's not like everybody is good at something. There are some people that aren't good at anything. That's it. And those are the ones that are going to lose their jobs first. Yeah, it's about momentum. Yeah, that's really it. Hot dog versus sandwich intelligence. Yeah, there you go. And gonna brand myself as entertainment by a real human. Yeah, not true. Okay, well, we'll see what happens, right? And but not book smart, but street smart. I think that like that's just social intelligence in a general sense. So yeah, that CNN story is nuts. What is this? This CNN story. What happened with this? CNN accidentally commits treason. What the fuck? Wait, what? Is this a... This story is... I never even heard of this. Okay, I'll... Okay, alright, we'll look at it. Here we go.
CNN recently ran a segment of them allegedly rescuing a prisoner left in solitary confinement for over 90 days.
The guard makes us turn the camera off while he shoots the lock off the cell door.
Damn.
It's still not clear if there is something under the blanket.
Oh, it moved. Is there someone there?
Kick it.
Is someone there?
No, it's not.
Yep.
Never mind. What's he curled up like that for? What the hell are you doing? Lay on the fucking... Lay on your blanket. What are you laying on the pavement for?
He tells the fighter he's from the city of Humps and has been in the cell for 3 months.
Okay, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
He clutches my arm tightly with both hands.
Does anyone have any water? Water.
Okay.
After 3 months in a windowless cell, he can finally see the sky.
Now, this would be seen as a triumphant moment in journalism
Yeah.
if it wasn't for the fact that they just freed a notorious torturer.
There's a good chance.
Shit. Well,
I may have committed some light treason.
As the New York Post reports, the seemingly innocent prisoner has a long history of alleged war crimes. Part of the forces that were
oh,
known
by the way, like those Syrian prisons, I talked to somebody who has family there. Man,
Time.
that's some dark shit. Like, if you thought we had it bad over here, like with the way our prisons, nothing. Like, they have women there having kids in the prison, and the kids are in the prison, born into jail, like fucking Bane from Batman. And those are the ones that are lucky. Other ones, they just kill the kid. It's brutal.
torture those who refuse to pay him off, also ending civilians in their civil war in 2014, as they also make note of how he didn't quite look like someone held in solitary confinement for 3 months.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like, usually if you're in that confinement, maybe, I don't know, like...
just the seasoning on top of the treason they felt the need to self-snitch on, as even before the whole